Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on education itself. We're going to uncover the hidden architecture behind every great course you've ever taken, the arc, and really the science of curriculum design. So let's just start with the big question, right? What does it really take to build a meaningful, effective learning experience from scratch? As you're about to see, it is so much more than just picking out a textbook and jotting down a few lecture notes. We're going to tackle this in 5 main parts. First, we'll lay the foundation. Then we'll look at the master blueprint. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of construction, check out the roadmaps you get, and then we'll finish up with a big picture inspection of the whole thing. Okay, let's dive right in. Before we can build anything, we have to understand our core material. So, what exactly is a curriculum? A curriculum isn't just a list of subjects or a syllabus. No way. It's the entire plan, everything that shapes a student's knowledge, their skills, and even their attitudes. It's the whole vision, all designed to hit these broader goals. And our understanding of what a curriculum is has really changed over time. We can look at it simply as the content, the stuff being taught. Or we can see it as the formal, written down plan. We can also view it through the lens of a student's actual lived experiences in the classroom. And finally, we can just focus on the end results. What can learners actually do when they're done? This whole process is this big, interconnected system. Everything from the initial idea to the final mapping is all linked together. So this flowchart, this is going to be our guide as we move through all the steps of building this thing. So our foundation is set. Now let's take a look at the architect's master plan, the principles of curriculum design. Any great blueprint has to consider a few key things. Scope, that's how much ground you're going to cover. Sequence is all about putting things in a logical order. I mean, you learn arithmetic before algebra, right? Integration is about connecting ideas across different subjects, maybe like studying history and literature from the same time period together. And continuity, that just makes sure you keep revisiting and building on those key concepts. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it lays out these different architectural styles. You've got your subject-centered design, which is all about mastering the content and the teacher is the expert. Then there's student-centered, which shifts the focus to the learner's own needs and interests, and the teacher acts more like a guide. And finally, society-centered design tackles real-world problems to prepare students for life out there. Okay, so with that big blueprint in hand, it's time to start designing the individual rooms. This is where we shift from the what of the curriculum to the how of instruction. And here is a really key distinction. Curriculum design, that's the master plan for the whole building. Instructional design, that's the detailed plan for what happens inside each room, the specific activities, the materials you'll use, and how you're going to measure success. So how do designers actually pull this off? Well, they have a whole toolkit of proven models. One of the most popular is called ADDIE. It's this 5-step cycle. You analyze, you design, you develop, implement, and then you evaluate how it all went. The whole idea is to create this continuous loop of improvement. Then you've got backward design, which totally flips the traditional process on its head. It starts by asking, okay, what do we want students to know and be able to do by the very end? And from there, you figure out how to assess that. And only then do you plan the activities. You literally start with the destination in mind. And this illustrates a tool that is absolutely essential for all these other models, Bloom's taxonomy. Honestly, just think of it as a ladder of thinking skills. You start at the bottom with basic remembering, and you climb all the way up to analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Educators use this to write really clear goals and to design tasks that truly challenge students. And finally, there's the Kemp model. Now, unlike those more linear, step-by-step processes, this one is more like a circular hub. It shows that all 9 key parts of instructional design, from the learner's needs to the final evaluation, can all be looked at the same time. It really emphasizes a more holistic and flexible approach. Okay, the design is pretty much complete. So now let's look at the documents that bring this grand plan to life for the people who are actually going to use it. The teachers, and of course, the students. 2 of the most familiar ones are, you guessed it, the syllabus and the textbook. The syllabus is the student's day-to-day roadmap, right? It outlines the whole journey, the expectations, all the rules. The textbook, on the other hand, is a primary resource for that journey, giving you the core content. And it is so important to see the syllabus as more than just a schedule. As this quote points out, it's really a contract. It sets out the responsibilities for both the instructor
and the student, and it creates this clear, transparent agreement for the whole learning experience. All right, for our final step, we're zooming back out from the individual course to do a quality check on the entire structure, just to make sure everything fits together perfectly. This whole process is called curriculum mapping, and you can think of it like the final building inspection. It's a systematic review to make sure that what a student learns in one course connects logically to the next one. And it helps you spot any gaps in their knowledge or, any stuff that's just getting repeated unnecessarily. This map is a fantastic example of what that actually looks like. You can visually track a specific learning outcome, an ELO, across an entire program. You can see right where a concept is first introduced, where it's further developed, and where a student is finally expected to achieve mastery. It makes the entire learning journey visible. And this mapping process, believe me, it isn't just bureaucratic paperwork. It is crucial. It's what ensures the entire educational program makes sense. It helps hold everyone accountable, it gets teachers and professors to collaborate, and it provides real data to make everything better over time. Now, it is worth noting that the source material for this explainer connects this very systematic, very orderly approach to a deeper philosophical worldview. It sees the creation of a well-structured curriculum as a reflection of a kind of purpose and harmony in the universe. So what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that curriculum is not an accident. A good learning experience is a deliberate, thoughtful, and pretty complex act of design. And now that you've seen the blueprint, the next time you step into a classroom or you open a course, you'll be able to see that invisible architecture that's holding it all together.